Welcome! We've all been there, right? Staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., desperately doing that frantic mental math. Okay, if I fall asleep right this second, I can still get exactly 4 hours and 12 minutes. It is exhausting. Well, in this explainer, we're going to embark on a pretty fascinating journey. We're doing a complete chronological deconstruction of the psychological and physiological architecture hidden inside a guided sleep meditation by Jason Stevenson. Have you ever wondered why certain words, imagery, and timing can literally command your nervous system to just shut down for the night? We're going to look under the hood of this incredibly popular script to see exactly how it systematically dismantles our waking consciousness and safely guides us into a deep, restorative slumber.
Okay, let's dive into this. Right at the very beginning of the meditation, before your brain even has a chance to start panicking about falling asleep, the script hits you with this profound reassurance. Tonight, there is nothing you need to do. Sleep is already on its way. Think about the immediate emotional relief in those words. It establishes this absolutely vital psychological baseline. It tells your brain, hey, sleep is not a destination you have to sprint toward, and it's definitely not a task you have to successfully complete. It's an inevitability. You cannot force it, you can only step out of the way and allow it to arrive.
Part 1. The philosophy of surrender, allowing versus forcing.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core difference here. So often, the barrier to a good night's rest is a heavy combination of built-up physical tension and a highly active, buzzing mind. And our instinct? Well, our instinct when we can't sleep is to fight it. We try harder, we exert effort. But this meditation completely flips the script. On one side, we have forcing sleep, right? That's exerting effort, trying, and basically disconnecting from our frustration. But on the other side, we have receiving sleep. This requires softening up, stepping back compassionately, and just allowing. If difficult emotions pop up, you don't shove them away. You observe them from a gentle distance, holding them with care so they don't hijack your night.
Part 2. The physical body scan, grounding the physical form.
With that philosophy of surrender firmly in place, the meditation shifts into its first major practical phase. And this isn't just about relaxing your muscles, no. It's a deliberate, highly effective technique to anchor your wandering attention right into the present moment by mapping out your physical geometry. Basically, systematic muscle relaxation biohacks your brain's sleep centers. It sends a loud and clear biological signal that the threat level is 0. The script walks us through a very specific chronological progression. It starts all the way down at the foundation, the soles of your feet, acknowledging the heavy contact of the bed beneath you. From there, it systematically sweeps upward, to the legs and hips, up into the chest and lungs, and finally to the head and jaw. By starting at the bottom and moving up, it gives every single muscle group full permission to let go. It's consciously addressing areas where we unconsciously hold the day's stress, telling the brain that the physical workday is absolutely over.
Now, during this scan, the script actually pauses to address a highly specific and frankly fascinating area, the hips. The hips are widely considered to be a physical storage space for stress and emotional tension. The narration warns the listener that, as these joints unravel, unconscious emotions might suddenly rise to the surface as relaxation deepens. But rather than panicking about it, you're guided to let these surfacing feelings flow right out of the body with a gentle sigh. It's a real game changer, a powerful moment of emotional release completely disguised as physical relaxation.
Let's move to and see how this builds in Part 3, the seaside sanctuary, anchoring the senses. So, once the physical body is totally grounded, the script initiates a mental escape. Your consciousness is transported through a warm, shimmering golden light, and you arrive at a tranquil seaside sanctuary. But here's the thing. This sanctuary isn't just a pretty picture. It is a carefully constructed environment of sensory anchors. The script vividly details a soft hammock swaying between palm trees, a sky painted in amber, rose, and violet, and the gentle, steady rhythm of rolling waves that perfectly mirror your own breathing. But perhaps the most potent anchor? The smell of the sea breeze mixed with jasmine. The script specifically notes this flower is designed to attract evening pollinators. This incredibly detailed multisensory engagement gives your anxious mind something totally immersive to focus on. It signals to the nervous system that it is entirely safe to unclench now.
Part 4. Managing the wandering mind, navigating intrusive thoughts.
Of course, we're human. It is perfectly natural for the mind to wander. Usually, it wanders right back to that one completely embarrassing thing you said at a party 5 years ago, right? But the architecture of this meditation anticipates this beautifully. It weaves in strategies without ever breaking that relaxed state. The script pauses and asks, as your mind drifts off into storytelling, is it calm and clear or tense and scattered? It prompts this lovely moment of gentle self-inquiry. It asks you to notice where your mind went, treating the distraction not as a failure, but just as another passing phenomenon to observe.
If those thoughts happen to be tense, the script guides you away from clinging to them. Because clinging means holding on tightly, right? Trying to control things and getting caught in that sticky, anxious feeling. The alternative is observing, just stepping back. The script offers this beautiful piece of advice for heavy or anxious thoughts. You must offer them compassion. Let them know you see them, you care for them, but give them permission to soften up and flow like waves right back out into the ocean. As the script so elegantly puts it, thoughts are like waves. They come and they go. It's a really simple metaphor, but it is incredibly effective when your breath has already been synced to the sound of the ocean waves in the visualization. It completely reinforces the theme of gentle, effortless release. You don't have to push your thoughts away, you just watch them roll out to sea.
Part 5. The Cosmic Transition. Moving into deep sleep. Now, what's really interesting about this timeline is how we enter the deepest phase. The script masterfully manipulates the imagery of time and light, relying on a precise, deliberate rhythm to mirror your descent into slumber. At the 9-minute mark, we start with the sunset, warm hues of amber, rose, and violet. By the 14-minute mark, dusk cloaks you, and there's a half moon. And by the 18-minute mark, the sky is transformed entirely into a midnight indigo, completely filled with stars and a crescent moon. This gradual fading of light is a profound psychological trick. It literally lowers your mental activity right in tandem with the dimming of the imagined sky.
Under this night sky, the script introduces the concept of the universe's embrace. You're invited to trace invisible lines between shimmering celestial bodies. Now, often, contemplating infinite space makes us feel, well, incredibly small and existentially anxious. But here, the cosmic dome is framed as a shelter. It gives a deep, embodied sense of unconditional support, allowing your physical body to safely melt in the very direction of gravity's pull.
Which brings us to a line that is just magnificent. The universe is holding, loving, and watching over you without condition, always has and always will. This serves as a final, deeply comforting reassurance. It speaks directly to the emotional and spiritual layers of the mind, just wrapping you in a profound sense of safety right before consciousness powers down entirely.
But here's where the architecture reveals its final stroke of absolute genius. Right as you are perfectly comfortable in this beautiful starlit seaside hammock, the script tells you it is nearly time to let the imagery dissolve. Wait, what? Yeah, it asks you to intentionally dismantle the exact visualization you just spent 10 minutes building. Why? Because holding on to an image, any image, still requires a tiny bit of mental effort. To truly sleep, you have to surrender even the effort of imagination.
So the crucial point is this final sequence of surrender. First, you let the imagery slowly dissolve into darkness. Second, you quietly watch any remaining thoughts as they ebb and flow. And third, you drift naturally into a solid slumber without needing to fix, achieve, or accomplish a single thing. At this stage, the script's word count drastically drops. The narration fades into minimal, trailing words, leaving absolutely nothing but the soft ambient sound of the ocean and a deep, incredibly spacious state of peace.
We've unpacked the body scans, the sensory anchors, the metaphors of the waves, and that brilliant cosmic fade to black. You've seen exactly how this script gently guides a really busy mind into total stillness. So I leave you with this thought. Now that you understand the architecture of receiving sleep, are you ready to stop trying to force it and finally allow yourself to rest? Thank you so much for joining me to explore this fascinating source material today. Sleep well, stay curious, and as always, keep learning.